may have had 5 officers working. Now we're talking 20, 25 officers. Okay, during the day, that's about right. And that does not include, obviously, the 25 to 30 SROs that we have working throughout the city as well. But the point of this is, when I started, we had cars that were being run 24/7. They would get 100,000 miles on them per year, okay, and they were run into the ground pretty quick. By having the number of cars that we do, it allows us to assign 2 officers to them instead of 4, and it allows us to keep them longer. The question we got too is, why do we have SUVs and Tahoes versus other vehicles? So I can tell you, when I first started, we had VCRs in the trunk, okay? And when it was cold, they didn't work.
VCR?
So, we would, by having these actually get about the same gas mileage. There's nothing special about them other than they're a bit heavier duty suspension and things like that. They're not turbocharged, they're not anything like that, okay? But the beauty of these, everything is climate controlled.
And it has ballistic paneling in the front 2 doors.
Yes, so it's climate controlled, the equipment lasts longer. It can store a ton of equipment in the back, which we'll show you on the squad car over here. There's just a lot of benefits to having it. And I'm going to be honest, as much as I love the Crown Vic, the shorter wheelbase on these makes these more maneuverable when we're traveling in tight spaces. So,
do you find that it's easier to look into somebody's car since you're sitting higher up?
the vantage point is definitely better. I also like the fact that, the Crown Vic had a nose that stuck out forever, whereas these, it's not as bad, but the vantage point is definitely better and allows, so especially at night, because that's when I first started, we had a limited amount of lights that were shining into the car, and traffic stops are one of the most dangerous things that we do, especially at night. These cars have the ability to basically turn night into day, which is very, very fortunate. So,
and the seat, it raises, so I can actually.
Hey, but it can only go so far.
It was nice to get those booster seats.
So just to give you an idea, this is an older model. This is a 2015. The oldest one we have is 2017 on patrol, and most of them are 2018 and newer. Every time they come out with a new squad, they add more lights. Because why not? But this, even being a 2015, you can see how much light I can put in front of me. Then you got these, which is everybody's favorite. And so now we have lights going along the running board as well on the newer squads and all over everywhere. It's ridiculous. So what some of the questions that we get about the squad cars is what's different about them, and like Grant said, there's really not a whole lot different. The back seats are all plastic. It's a lot easier to clean.
Yeah.
We've had to clean every bodily fluid type out of this seat.
Before they were cushioned, and it made it very difficult when they threw up and did other things.
There's the spotlight. They have radar on the front and back, so it doesn't matter if you're in front of us, behind us, we can see how fast you're going. And then you'll see the officers that are on the side of the road with the laser gun. That's the LiDAR, so they can see, that pinpoints a specific car as far as how fast it's going. During your Citizens Police Academy, which I expect everybody to come and join, if you're not already in it or a graduate, you'll actually go into very in-depth and you'll learn all about it. Plus, you, at the graduation point, get a chance to do a ride-along in one of these very fancy, comfortable vehicles. This has been disinfected as of today. I was out here this afternoon cleaning it, so if you want to stick your head in there and check it out and look at the buttons, if you hit a button and the car screams at you, that's the siren, so watch out for that.
So a couple of changes from this one versus some of our newer squads. The lights are actually smarter.
Go ahead.
So when you open car doors, lights on this side will turn off, which I actually thought they were broken, so I wrote it up as a maintenance item, but they explained it to me. I was like, this new stuff, I'm just a caveman, right? We also have newer sirens. So, for instance, how many times have you been going down the road and there's an emergency vehicle behind you and you didn't hear the siren because of a variety of things going on inside your own car? Well, we found that the higher frequencies, sometimes people don't hear as much. So we actually have a high frequency and a rumbling that will actually vibrate it vibrates you as you're pulling up behind someone. And so that's just obviously an attention getter, so folks will move to the right so we can get, and the fire department has them as well. So.
And you have one K9?
We have two.
Two, okay.
So we have K9 Breston and we have K9 Amigo.
Amigo.
How long does it take them to get fully trained?
Like a year.
At least, not including the time before we actually take possession of the dog and we actually send our handler to Alabama or Georgia, wherever it's at least a year, and they are training weekly because they have to maintain certification. So you'll see Officer Chandler or Officer Roloffs, they may be out and about working a field just to get training hours in.
Okay.
So, or you may see other agencies from around the area coming here because they'll conduct training, whether it's narcotics, searching for people. Our dogs are dual. They're bite dogs and they're also drug dogs, or scent dogs.
Oh, I didn't know there was the Yeah, okay.
So they can do a variety of things. Ours are dual. The fire department, their canine is actually for explosives. So different roles. The handler over there actually was the first canine officer here, and then he defected to the dark side. And you know what? I tell you what,
in addition to essentially steel plates.
Where you'll see a lot of times moving around and stuff,
And that includes firearms, pistol belt, magazines. The only thing they really give us that I'm wearing on my waist is going to be pepper spray and everything else is something that I've purchased. Now we are looking at possible transitions to a facility issue. In fact, one of my peers is saying that most likely what we'll do is we'll just do a grandfather. Everybody that's got their own stuff, you get to keep it, and then we'll start giving it to the new riders. There's lots of advantages to all having a simple weapon platform.
So you're responsible then for your own pistol? Can you use it outside of law enforcement?
I'm not going to knock over 7-Eleven.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
For legal purposes.
I sure can. This is my gun, so I get to do whatever I want to with it. So as long as it's approved by a firearms instructor, it's strict guidelines, you don't modify the trigger. You can modify the size and it qualifies.
Not always. We get from all different backgrounds. Some of them are just interested in law enforcement. He's actually in the Army. He just came back from basic training. But this, will help him in his career and things. She's off going to college.
Oh, my goodness.
So if she wants that scholarship, just let me know. We'll fill out some paperwork and get some things. But most of those folks that we have aren't not interested in becoming police officers, but they're interested in serving in some other capacity, military or whatever. But this is a great place to be.
And so you will fill out an application. Like if I remember my daughter, he gets experience being in a school, we should fill out an application.
Yes, that's the beginning. So first you contact either me or Portia. You see the shirt she's wearing? That's our store shirt. So she will keep your name, keep the kid's name from the ages of 14 to 21. And then once we open up some spots, then we'll reach out to you. Are you still interested? Yes. All right, here's an application. Understand the commitment you're taking on. Every other Monday meetings, you get issued several different uniforms and duty belts and things, and the meetings are mandatory. You show up and then you get to do things like this. And then once COVID decides to finally go away, now we can start going to competitions and really diving into it. Plus, they get to ride along with officers and learn firsthand on the street. It's a great program. Not this. But here's